Good afternoon. My name is Sean Simma. I'm a CPA with the accounting firm Simma Flottemesch Orenstein. And I'm here today to talk to you about single-member LLCs, their benefits, and how to set one up in the state of Wisconsin. Before you start a new business, you must decide the tax entity of your business. While sole proprietorship is the simplest and least expensive way to start a business, you may be better off with the benefits of a single-member LLC. One of the biggest benefits of an LLC is that all owners of the LLC are protected from being personally liable for the debts, obligations, and lawsuits of the LLC. This benefit basically states that a member is not liable just because he or she is a member or owner of an LLC. Another benefit is that the limited liability company is its own separate entity. This means that an LLC is a legal person separate and apart from its owners. This is important from a business continuity perspective. If a member, manager, or key employee dies or leaves the business still continues. A third benefit of LLCs is that of a flexible entity ownership structure when deciding on how the business will be managed. Accordingly, the LLC can be used for a wide variety of business structures, from the most simple to the very complex. The tax options for an LLC provide another popular benefit. For a single-member LLC that is owned by an individual, you have the limited liability afforded to corporations without the need to prepare and file separate income tax returns. In the eyes of the IRS, a single-member LLC is what we call a disregarded entity for income tax purposes, as the income and expenses are reported on your personal tax return as though you were a sole proprietor. Please note, the purpose of this video is not to provide you with legal or tax advice, and I ask that you consult with an attorney or a tax advisor before taking any action as a result of watching this video. Follow me in the upcoming video as I take you to the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions website, where I walk you through the steps to set up your LLC. Then it's off to the IRS website, where I walk you through the steps to register and obtain a federal identification number. You're going to need a federal ID number to open the bank account for your newly formed LLC. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to set up a single-member LLC in Wisconsin, along with applying for a federal identification number on the Internal Revenue Service website. The first step is we need to go to the Department of Financial Institutions website and start the process there. On this page, you're going to click on Corporations, Create an LLC or Corporation. The web page advances to this summary where you can actually apply for multiple different entity types, but for today's video we're going to apply and set up an LLC. So we're going to click on Limited Liability Company. It brings you to the Articles of Organization web page for Wisconsin Limited Liability Companies. You're going to need each of the items listed on this page, items 1 through 8. Next, you click this button right here that says click here to start your filing. It advances to the next page where they address the issue of name availability. Before you can select a name for your company, one, you need to make sure the name complies with the guidelines provided by Wisconsin, and two, you need to make sure that nobody else has taken your name already, as they do not allow more than one entity to have a same name. And so if you click on this link called Name Availability Guide, it will bring you to the Department of Financial Institutions guide on name availability and their rules for selecting names. And so if you would take a opportunity to read through this guide, it will give you some good ideas about the do's and don'ts of selecting a proper name. Alright, I'm going to go back to that web page. And so once we decide on a name, we need to search to see if somebody else has already taken that name. So I'm going to click on Corporate Registration Information System Database. It brings me to the database where I can search for the name that I want to apply or use for my entity. In this case, I'm going to type in L&D investments, and I'm going to go search. I'm going to wait for the results to come back. As you can see here, somebody has selected this name already, and so I'm going to have to select a different name. And so I'm going to select LDF Investments, and then click search again. And as you can see, nobody has taken that name, and so that name is available for me. So I'm going to go back to this web page and I'm going to click next. Oops, I forgot. I have to put my name in here, and so it's going to be LTF Investments LLC. I click next, and here I need to fill in the registered agent's name. In this case, it's going to be Leon J. Flottemesch, and the registered office address for the LLC is going to be 1427 Avenue. And then after I get done completing Article 3 and Article 4, I click the next icon, and it advances me to Article 5, Management. The management of a single member LLC is almost always managed by members versus managers, and so I'm going to select members. I'm going to click next, and now I need to enter the organizer's name. If it's somebody other than the person filling out the form, you could complete these fields with that person's name, or if you click this button, it'll simply just take the information you already entered and populate the fields below. Because it's a single member LLC, I don't need to add another organizer, and so I'm just going to say Save Organizer, and the name and address is complete for each organizer. So then we just move forward from here. If you would happen to find that you had typed in a wrong address or misspelled your name, you would just click Edit this organizer icon. It'll bring you back so that you can make your correction. Alright, so I'm going to click Next. And the drafter of this document will be yourself. And the document is not executed outside of Wisconsin. and I don't want to have a delayed effective date, so I simply click Next. And in order to execute this document, at least one organizer must sign the form. And so I'm going to check the box there to acknowledge the signature. Then I'm going to click Next. And contact name. And so here I'm just going to click the Fill Form button, and that'll transfer my name and address down. But I do need to provide some additional information as well, so I'm going to put in an email address as well as a phone number. And there is no extension in this case. And then I'm going to click Next. And so here's where I need to review the information carefully that I entered to make sure that there are no mistakes. And so I've entered the name of my entity, the registered agent, the street address of the registered office. The management of the LLC is vested in members, and a name and complete address of each organizer. Everything seems to look just fine. And the drafter's signature is the drafter's name is listed here, and then the organizer's signature here, along with a contact person here. So everything seems to be in order, so I'm going to click Next. And here's where I pay for my fee. The fee for an LLC is $130. So I'm going to put in my credit card information. And so I'm just going to, since I've already done this, I'm not going to put in a live credit card. And then I'm going to click Next to submit payment. By clicking the Submit Payment icon, it will bring you to the last page where you can print a receipt as well as your articles of organization. I recommend that you print the articles of organization and keep them in a safe place. In addition, you have to register your LLC annually, and you will receive a notice from the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions each year in the form of a card with a web address where you can log in and register your LLC. Next, we're off to the Internal Revenue Service website to apply for a federal identification number. Once you arrive at the IRS homepage, you click on Apply for EIN Online. This brings you to the Employer Identification Online Application Form. You can read through the items listed on this page, and then you click Apply Online Now. You need to acknowledge that you're an authorized person by clicking the OK button. And then you can begin the application. The first question is your identity. What type of legal structure are you applying for an ID number for? In this case, you're a limited liability company. So I'm going to click the radio button here and then click Continue. Then it gives us some guidance regarding what an LLC is and what an LLC isn't. You can read through this at your leisure and then click the Continue button. The next step is we need to tell the Internal Revenue Service how many members there are in your LLC. Because you are a single member LLC, you're going to enter 1. Then it's going to want you to inform them what state you're from. So you select Wisconsin, and then you click Continue. Next, you must confirm your selection by selecting the Continue icon, which I do. And why are we requesting an employer identification number? You could select one of 2 here: started a new business or banking purposes. In this case, you would click Start a New Business and then click Continue. We have to answer who is responsible. In this case, it would be an individual rather than an existing business. Then you click the Continue icon, and then you place your name. Next, you enter your personal information here. And they're going to want your social security number, so you need to enter this as well. And then you will select that you are an owner or member or managing member of the LLC. And then you click the Continue icon. Next, you enter the mailing address. Along with the telephone number. Apparently, the IRS likes to have Avenue abbreviated, so I will accept their database version of the address. And now I need to provide the name. LD. As well as a trade name if it's different from the legal name of the LLC. In this case, it is not. The territory where we are located is Wisconsin. And then the state of the articles of organization, again, would be Wisconsin. And then the start date is going to be February of 2013. And then I click Continue. Oops, it doesn't like the period here, and so I'm going to have to take that period out and then go Continue. And then we need to answer these questions regarding a 55,000-pound vehicle, gambling, no excise tax return filing requirements, and no manufacturing of alcohol, tobacco, or firearms. And we are not going to have employees. Then I click Continue. I need to inform the Internal Revenue Service what my business does. In this case, it's going to probably be it's going to be Other. And Service. Then I click Continue. The primary service, I'll just say basket weaving. And you can enter whatever service you will be providing. Then you click Continue. And I'd like to receive the letter online. print an Acrobat version of the notice that you receive from the Internal Revenue Service rather than having them send it in the mail, because it does take several weeks to receive it, and it will hold up applying for that bank account because the bank will require a federal identification number, especially for a business. Clicking Continue will bring up a screenshot of your summary information. And so if everything looks accurate, then you select the Submit button. Then you get the congratulations, your EIN has been successfully assigned. Here you can download a copy of your notice from the Internal Revenue Service where they assigned your number. It's a PDF version. You can either print it or save it to your computer. And that's it. You are done applying for your federal identification number. To recap, in this video, we've walked you through how to create a single member LLC on the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions website, and then apply for a federal identification number.